In this video, we will contrast the way SAP monitors SAP response times and performance versus the cloud-based IT-Conductor platform. Here we have the CCMS setup with various transactions specific to monitor dialogue, response time for each transaction. You can see a demonstration here of VAO1, typical order to cash type transaction. If you look at the response time, there is individual transaction. You double click, you kind of get the overview of statistics workload, not really at the transaction that had the problem or the time that it occurred. Again, here if you drill into transaction, you get the workload overview, and you have to find out what was happening on the system at that time. You can set this one up with existing CCMS, and but the problem here is if you want to group a transaction, there's no measurement as to how it reports the service level for them. This is IT-Conductor, and it's a cloud-based solution for performance management. And here we can see a dashboard using an SAP system as part of a service. An example of response time measurements set up as a service level. For example, warehouse management might be a group of business transactions. Here are some examples of service level agreements, what we call on the platform. And you can create these to combine transaction, response time, users, workstations, locations, etc., and track their response time or any KPI relating to their performance. So let's drill into T codes here belonging to that particular example SLA. Here we have an all, which is a catch-all bucket list for T code. Again, here we have a definition, and you can specify, for example, VAO1, VAO2, etc. Here we just do a regular expression, all transactions belonging to a single seed for the purpose of this demonstration. And when we click into a service level, that's part of a service, you can see the average response time for that particular service level. By default, we track the dialogue response time. And drilling in further to the service level, we are able to look at troubleshooting context. So if there is a spike in performance, we might want to go and look at what else was happening on the system at the time. In this case, just curiosity, dialogue users logged on. Clicking into the chart, you also get detail of who was logged on during that period of time. Again, we have various things here we can configure, but out of the box you can get some of those. For instance, the top 10 response time, and again that chart overlays in the same synchronized time frame. Here we click into it, we see actual transactions that you can further analyze during that period. Let's take a look at a few more. Here, dialogue response time. So this is the typical system response time on the overall system. It doesn't quite give you the level of detail you need to manage business process service levels. But it does give you an indication what the overall system was doing versus a particular set of transaction. Here we have other things of interest, maybe CPU utilization if there was a spike. So it looks like during a period of time of analysis, we do have some CPU utilization between 9:30 and 10:30. That was generally due to more dialogues from users working on the system. So again, this gives you the ability to have a single pane of glass through performance and correlation of various different contexts to help troubleshoot the root cause of performance issue. Again, so there are various measures, so memory as well. Anything on the system we are able to, if you are interested in a customized set of metrics of your interest, basically we just add those as they are collected from the system. Again, the platform monitors remotely without an agent, so we're able to collect literally unlimited set of metrics from SAP. Here we have a drill down into the warehouse management, and as you can see, the list of transactions that we're catching, every transaction on the system, but these are the one running, and for this period of time in an hourly view, you can see that there are transactions that ran and what their response time were that made up that individual service level. Getting in further view here, if you click on a particular transaction, you can see a breakdown of that transaction's response time component. For instance, the GUI time, network time, database time, etc. And even further, if you drill into the transaction at a period time interval, you get into the list of transactions there, in this case DB02. And this is a performance intelligence where you can do multi-dimensional analysis. So here we're looking at a list of transactions running during that period of time, everything on the system. But if we go and look into perhaps if interest, we are looking at only dialog steps right now, but if I clicked on user, these are the list of transactions ran by that particular user during this period of time on this server. So again, it gives you ability to drill in from a very high level down to a low level of analysis. Again, this is representing every transaction that ran from a particular terminal. So if you have users that might be reporting problem to help desk, maybe it's their desktop, you can find out what the terminal is, find out what they were running on the system. Back to this context, you again can look at response times, for instance, or we look at, interestingly enough, you might be interested in what's happening on the app server. We clicked into the app server. You actually see a work process snapshot, which highlights the running transaction at that point in time. And remember, this is historic, so it helps you troubleshoot. If there was something running there for a long time, you might be able to see how it accumulates resources. Back to this list, again, you can narrow in on various information or detail that you're interested in, and you can switch context. So in this case, I'm looking at RFC type, and maybe I'm interested in a particular task type. So it gives you multiple ways of slice and dice from a single pane of glass. So let's go back and take a look at the overall health of the system. And in this particular case, we should be able to go in if there's a health issue, report as an alert to drill down. The health button there opens up the exploration of all the components under that particular service to see what the root cause of problem may be. So here we open up and you can see various components, the database level, and again we have here the service level, warehouse management, we have response time there. Perhaps we're interested in to see what CCMS events were happening on the system. That might indicate, say, a number of events that might stand out as problematic. You can click on to a chat interval, and immediately we're taken into the list of events or alerts that came out of the system during that time. Again, this is all time context analysis to help you find the root cause of a problem quickly from the 30,000 feet all the way down to the ground level. Again, here we can start opening other areas of interest, perhaps at the database level, the buffer cache, various other metrics of interest. From here, again, you can look at overall system response time, not just the particular service level, and overlay that with various other contexts, maybe extended memory, active during the time, utilization, the workload on the system. Here you can see that there is a spike in the workload. So again, this multiple context gives us the performance intelligence to stop guessing and start managing performance from an intelligent data-driven approach where we have time synchronized collection of data and presentation. So for further information on this, you can visit IT-Conductor.com, where you can sign up for a trial subscription, and soon, within a couple hours, you'll be able to monitor without software installation or agents on your site except for a connection. Thank you.